Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast Reptile Rampage episode number 13. I'm Adam and today we got two more beast fights out for a spot in round 2. We're now down to the last 4 battles of round 1. So with these two beasts participating in this battle, they both have similar attributes in their own way, but they're also different as well, which makes them interesting beasts to go against each other actually, which is why I saved it for one of the last few battles. But let's introduce them. Representing Series 15, Velmal's Revenge. We have a beast which has done really well in the previous 2 tournaments he was in. And looking to do well in the 3rd one? Well, he needs to beat his opponent first. But I'm of course talking about Plexor the Raging Reptile versus his opponent. A representative of Series 28, the Netherworld. This is, I believe, this beast's first time fighting in the tournament, so it's debut battle against Plexor, and it is, of course, Styx, the Lurking Terror. So with both of these beasts going against each other, they both have their similarities, both being water beasts, both having sharp teeth, long tail, and other attributes as well, which makes them similar. But to be fair, I'm not really sure on who's going to win this one. But let's get to the stats so then we know a bit more about these beasts, and then we can find out what to actually do here. Plexor the Raging Reptile. Fishing communities in the Kingdom of Tangala tell scary stories about the legendary cursed fish, whose capture brought rains to help farmers, but no one actually believes the story. Even though they hold an annual festival in which they capture a model version of the creature, they should not be so careless, for beneath the water lurks Plexor, a monstrous reptile whose gaping mouth can swallow whole boats and unlucky fisherfolk. Age 253, Power 195, Magic level 201, Fright Factor 85, Size 291. Powers and abilities: Enhanced Strength, Enhanced Reactions, Natural Weaponry, Scales, Underwater Breathing, and Speed Swimming. Weaknesses: Land Travel Incapability, and Gill Blockage. Styx the Lurking Terror. Styx does not have a bio in the Beast Quest Bible as of this point, so at the moment all we have is just his powers and abilities, which are Underwater Breathing, Master Swimmer, Natural Weaponry, Camouflage, Enhanced Senses, Enhanced Strength, and Scales. Weaknesses is Neutralized Camouflage. Styx's camouflage can be cancelled out if he gets hit by something. And Exhaustion from Nausea. Styx can become exhausted, something from inside his body makes him nauseous. Okay, so with the stats department done for Plexor and Styx, this battle is going to be in an ocean arena. And for that, let's get into the battle. As both beasts exit from their chambers, they both break the surface of the water and roar into the arena. Plexor gets a bunch of fans recognizing him, cheering for him, and there are a few fans which don't, and no one recognizes Styx, but there are a few fans that are rooting for Styx as well, for one reason or another. Sorry, bear with me, this is a very uncomfortable chair I'm on. As both beasts lock eyes with each other, they both dive underwater and charge towards each other. As right before they're about to collide into each other, Plexor immediately dives down and then hides in the deepest part of the ocean, as Styx stays towards the top, near the surface. Using his senses, he listens around for Plexor's low growling to know exactly where he is, and when Plexor realizes he can't sneak up behind Styx, what he does is he soars up towards Plexor, ready to attack him from underneath. Styx sees that, and using his tail, he batters Plexor to the side. Plexor retorts back by chomping onto his tail, taking the hit, but then immediately regaining himself, chomping onto his tail, and pulling Styx below this, down deep into the ocean. As Styx curls himself around to bite onto Plexor's neck, Plexor immediately lets go of the tail and bites down onto Styx's neck instead, pulling him low down and wrapping his entire body around Styx, trapping him in place. Styx is able Styx struggles to break free, using his tail to wrap around Plexor's neck to pull him away from himself, and Styx slips through Plexor. As Plexor and right before Plexor's able to get away, Styx bites onto Plexor's tail and tears at it, causing Plexor to roar in pain before getting away. As Styx gets to the bottom of the ocean, he camouflages into the ocean. As Plexor regains himself and comes back down to where he last saw Styx, he can't seem to find him anywhere. Styx sees Plexor's tail waving just in front of him, and before he can go, and he goes to bite at it again before making himself known to Plexor, where Plexor immediately swims up, taking Styx with him, and swinging his tail, slamming Styx into the wall of the arena. As Styx lets go of Plexor's tail, Plexor goes down to Styx's level and bashes his head into Styx's chest, slamming Styx into the wall of the arena. The spectators can't see what's happening, but they can tell that something terrible's going on down there. As Plexor continues to slam his head into Styx's chest and slamming Styx into the wall of the arena, Styx uses his claws and digs them into the side of Plexor's face, just clawing away. Plexor roars in pain from this, and using his whole neck, he slams himself into Styx. Styx bites onto Plexor's neck. As Plexor recoils back, Styx continues to have a firm grip on Plexor's neck. Plexor, in retaliation, breaks the surface of the water swimming upwards, showing both beasts in all their size as Plexor angles his body and slams into the surface of the water on top of Styx. Plexor continues to push himself down to the surface of the ocean, forcing Styx into the ground, which eventually caused Styx to let go of Plexor's neck. Plexor, trying to stay away from Styx's aggressive bite, wraps his tail around Styx's neck and hoists him up towards the surface of the water. Styx trying to resist, but unable to resist the strength that is in Plexor. Plexor hoists Styx's head above the surface of the water and showing to the spectators how tight of a grip his tail has around Styx's neck. Styx is trying to snap at Plexor's tail, but is not having it whatsoever. Styx uses his tail to batter Plexor's head, and whilst he does get a few hits in, Plexor, out of frustration, bites onto Styx's tail, and keeping a firm grip with his tail on Styx's neck, he pulls Styx's tail away from Styx's body. Styx is roaring in pain over this, trying to scratch at any part of Plexor, but he can't reach it. Plexor has that wide of a grip, that wide and that strong of a grip on Styx, where Styx can't attack Plexor at all. Eventually, Plexor increases his bite force and just bites right through Styx's tail, tearing it clean off. As Plexor makes his head visible above water, he shows dangling from his mouth Styx's tail, which he shoves into Styx's roaring mouth. As Styx's eyes widen in shock from what Plexor just done, what Plexor does is just stare into Styx's eyes as Styx is struggling to breathe by being strangled, but is now choking on his own tail. As Styx is desperately trying to claw at Plexor holds him far enough away to where Styx can't do anything, and Plexor just slams Styx into the wall of the arena, watching the life drain from Styx's eyes with nothing less than malice and mercilessness. The spectator, shocked by Plexor's lack of mercy, watches Styx's life just fade away. As Styx loses his life, Plexor then releases his grip on Styx's body, which sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Plexor makes his way back to his chamber, satisfied with his victory. With that, Plexor has won, Styx has lost. If you think Styx should win, please comment below. Think about how my worst final and Plexor's moving on to the next round. Now, I do see a way in which how Styx could have won, but when it came down to both of these beasts against each other, they're both quite fast. But ultimately, it came to the better reactions and the long neck and tail that Plexor has, which Styx doesn't. Plexor is able to defend himself against Styx's attacks, whilst also still attacking him in the process, which was ultimately his downfall. And that's how Plexor won. So that was the 13th battle of the episode of the series, with Plexor moving on to round 2. And with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.